Welcome to Art People.
The podcast where we look at art from different perspectives
We're talking to artists, gallerists, and collectors.
with the aim of making art more accessible.
My name is Ohi.
My name is Ohai.
Let's get into
it. So, Ohi, why are we doing this podcast?
I think the objective of the podcast is just to demystify the art world, right? We're trying to make art accessible to everyone.
Make it fun, make it easy,
Yeah, for
make
sure.
it understandable, have conversations. So, would you say we're collectors or art lovers? Like, how do we get into this thing? Like, what do you think we are? Like, talk about.
I'll say I'm an art lover. I think the word art collector is very snobbish, very academic, and it kind of restricts people, like young people or just people who might be interested in art from getting into this space, right? You feel that it might be, you have to have a certain amount of money or be super rich to collect art, and I don't think that's the case.
So, do you think that we're collectors or art lovers?
We're art lovers who have leaned into art, and the dividend is just collecting art. But I wouldn't accept the term art collectors. It's very obnoxious.
Well, for me, I'll say we're somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Because we got into the thing from collecting. But over the time, we've been building relationships, meeting people, creating memories, telling a story. I think that shows that we're art lovers who also collect. We're somewhere in the middle. Because you can't deny the fact that we're collectors. What are collectors?
You tell me.
I think the act of collecting is just gathering things. So art collecting will be collecting different kinds of art, from sculptures to paintings to pictures. There are different kinds of things you can collect, right? But I think we're art collectors because if you think about it, over the last 5 years, one of the things that's happened aside making new friends, we've collected objects, we've collected paintings, we've collected photographs, we've collected memories. So I think we're also, I'll say we're collectors, Sha. I know it's a bit strange, but it's not a big thing to talk about that. What do you mean by snobby that? What do you mean by that?
Because the moment you say art collectors, people start thinking you have a lot of money and you're spending a lot of money on art. And I don't think that's the case. I think the thrill is in the chase. So
But you do spend a lot of money on art. You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the more you lean into it, you find that
It's not about the money.
it's not about the money.
That's what I'll say. But I believe you do spend
Because
money.
if it was about the money, we wouldn't do it.
I mean, we'll not be able to afford it.
Yes.
But so I think that's the thing where you get into it, obviously, and then you start discovering it. So something I'll say that we love. We definitely, if the money wasn't there, we'll still do it.
For sure.
But there's obviously, to get these things, people are creating, they are making art. You have to pay them for their time.
Of course, there's the value side. I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying that I prefer the word art lover because anyone can be an art lover. Even if you can't afford to collect art, you can just admire art.
I agree.
And that makes you an art lover.
I agree.
Okay.
So, how did this all start? What made us even get into art in the first place? Do you remember our first experience with art?
I'd say it was COVID. So when we moved back at the time, it fell into our lap, right? We went to House of Praise, that's Grandpa's house, and he was like, clear the house. And we were just like, okay, cool. So one day we just cleared the place and we saw some art pieces, and I think I Googled a signature.
Do you remember any of the first works that we like? Do you remember the first works that made us like?
Definitely, is there one of those blue olakus found by the bar?
Yeah.
And we Googled it, saw it on Sotheby's. Obviously, for me, I was drawn by the money. This thing has value. Let's lean into it. I think that's my experience. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I remember when you first discovered art, and they used to send me all those things. You send me auction numbers. You send me, you say this piece, look at it, look at what. We were just playing around with it then. We didn't really, I won't say we loved it then.
No.
I think when we started falling in love with it was when we started going to different galleries, meeting galleries, going to artists' home, going into their personal space, actually meeting them, having conversation with them.
Yeah,
we'll go to some places that I can't even say the name of those places, but we'll go to those places, we'll meet the artists, we'll try and make sure that at least we will runs them. By the end of the kidney,
We'll walk out with something.
we'll walk out with a piece.
Yeah.
That's how we started collecting. Because then we couldn't afford
For
those
this,
things.
definitely
So
not.
I feel like it was the relationship or the relationships that we built that made us now start. Like,
Because I think if you think about it, from like the moment we could move around after COVID, so I would say like, let's say 2021 to 2023, almost every Saturday, we were either in a gallery or like a studio, just,
do you remember any of those experiences? Like, is there one that comes to your mind?
it was the Bob,
Bro, I can't remember the name of the place where he lived.
I can't remember.
Sorry, man. But
It's like in another state.
So it was far. We
He had
drove there.
just said, "Oh, come to my studio," and we're like, "Okay, we'll come." I just typed in Yaba, thinking I saw Yaba somewhere. I just typed.
That place was not Yaba.
It
That
was like
so
3 hours from Yaba.
Yeah, it was so
And
far.
it was
when we
terrible.
got there, it was fun. He took us around like his gallery space. We met his son.
Great guy.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those cool experiences. And you don't want to say we're collectors, but in collecting, do you think that we have like similar tastes, or what actually makes us gravitate towards certain kinds of art?
I would say we have similar tastes. I would just say like I don't admire art the way you do. I think you. Let me speak for myself, Sha.
Okay.
I see the number first. I know, okay, if I see this and I say, this is what X to me, this is why I should have it. I don't really like look at it and get excited or like care for how it looks per se. Just what it means to me in terms of value. That's my connection with
Yeah.
that.
I think for me, I try to create balance because yes, the numbers are very good. But remember, when we started collecting art, one of the things that people always tell us is like, buy things that you love. If you can never sell it for more money, at least you can put it on your wall. So I try to lean into that a bit and like understand that as much as these things are, there's a plus and minus side to it, there's also the creative side because this thing is art, first of all, right? So I try to always think about that perspective. But the truth about it is no matter how beautiful something is, one of the most important decisions for me or for us would be
What
the
is
plus
what?
and minus. Can we get it for a certain price?
Can we sell it final?
That there's also that, right? So I think I try to balance it. I try to make sure that at least we are not,
Too number focused.
yeah. So I don't know. Does that mean that we have different tastes?
No, I think we have different tastes. We just look at it differently.
You think we have?
We have similar tastes, sorry.
Yeah. Do you remember the first piece that we collected?
The first piece we collected was it was 2023.
2023?
Yes.
Okay.
Not the first piece we like found or got from like John. I'm saying that like the first time we intentionally bought something.
Okay.
because it was
I don't remember. Tell me about. I don't remember.
It's a small piece by Blossom Oyeko, like it's a church.
Okay, that one.
Church.
It's true. I never forget.
I forget what it's titled, but like that was the first piece we ever bought.
Yeah. So someone else was friend that one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that actually. I can remember how we got it. You want to talk about that?
You go ahead. I don't remember.
Remember, I think at that point in time, Ogati told us that there's this young artist who, like, that he just met that. Are we interested in buying it?
Now what can we?
Yeah, are we interested in buying our work?
Yes.
Then it was this crazy experience because the money to me, I was just thinking about the money. I was like, bro, how am I going to spend this kind of money on this thing? Like, how am I going to spend this kind of money on this thing? But I think we just did it. We hadn't even met Blossom at the time.
No.
I didn't even met Blossom at
It
the
was
time.
just in his office and we bought it from
Yeah, we
him.
just bought it from him and yeah.
But I think you're jumping the gun. What was our first transaction in art?
Oh. I remember.
Go ahead.
Diolaku.
What's the story?
What was the story? We were just trying things. We were meeting people. They were telling us that there's value in this thing, right? So at that time, there was a bit of, I would call it liquidity issue. And we were looking to see that we can,
Test that this thing
we can
actually
extract
works
value from the
from it.
thing. Like, oh boy, they've been saying this thing is worth money. Let's try.
Yeah.
So we approached our friend who helped us sell that time.
Yeah.
for a certain price. The thing pains me because, bro, I wish I can get that piece back. Like,
It's not even.
it pains me. You know, that is the interesting thing about collecting, right? I feel like when we get the pieces, you talk about the plus and minus, but then you love the piece more than the money. Because think about it, that one, it solved some issues then, but we've tried to get that thing back how many times?
You can never get it back.
Exactly.
You can never get it back.
So I think that there's also value in like, there are different strata to what we do in art. So let's talk about it. We're collecting, we're dealing. That's another question in its own. Do you see yourself more as a dealer or a collector?
Depends on the day.
So what's the difference between those two hats? Like, what's the difference?
There's some things I know I buy that I would never sell. Like, God willing, I'll never sell. And there's some things I buy, I literally want to sell it tomorrow.
That's not true. I don't know. But what have you bought that you wanted to sell immediately? Or that you think about that statement? Do you know I say think about that statement? Think about that bloody Glover. We bought it and we're so eager. We're so eager to
So
sell.
we bought it to sell it. I remember that was one of our first few transactions in art as well. We bought it to sell it. We didn't want to sell it. We ended up selling it, and I regret it. I think I don't even like looking at his work now because it was just it was rushed. And I feel like that's the collector in me, but as a dealer, I'm proud I sold it.
So now you're admitting that you're a collector.
I never said I was. I'm just saying I don't like the term. It's snobbish.
Nah, just chilling.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I feel we definitely wear different hats
at different times.
At different times. Sometimes it's very conflicting because you buy something that you're thinking, okay, after a while I'll let go of this thing. You put it on your wall and it's hard to come off.
It
sticks. So I think drawing the line for me is very, I won't say tough, but it's interesting. It makes the relationship interesting.
Dynamic.
It makes the relationship very interesting. So why are we collecting Nigerian art specifically? Like, why do we focus mostly on Nigerian art?
I mean, I live here, I work here. I won't say it's easy, because it's not, but like, it's just something I'm drawn to. I look at art from other places and I don't necessarily connect with this. Like, I'm a Nigerian first, so Nigerian art just draws me. Whether it's contemporary art or just traditional art, I'm just drawn towards Nigerian art predominantly. Not saying I wouldn't indulge in other arts from other countries.
You collected art from other.
Like I said, primarily, if I have a choice, I will pick Nigerian art.
I agree. Same.
It just draws me, but I'm not closed off.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we're definitely open to other jurisdictions, but like Nigerian art just speaks to us the most. We're Nigerians. We live in Nigeria. We're trying to. One of the reasons why we actually said we wanted to start the podcast was actually just to actually record this moment in time of Nigerian history. I feel like nobody's really telling Nigerian story in terms of from this perspective in terms of art. There's so many guys that we want to give a voice to, like so many gallerists we want to speak to, so many artists we've met over the years, so many collectors who have different perspectives. Because I know the way we collect art is very unique to us. So even if we brought on a collector here now,
the story or her story will be different.
It'll be very different. They might not even understand it from the perspective
that
we do. So we want to also, it's a learning curve for us as well. It's a learning curve for us as well. What would you say is one experience you've had in art that will never leave you?
I don't think it's one. I think I always say art is a leveler. So I find that like, if not for art, the people I know now, or the friends I have now, I wouldn't necessarily have them because we might not connect the way we have. I find that like if you go to a gallery today and just sitting there, someone walks in, you guys are just talking about a piece on the wall, and it's just, even if the person is 50 and I'm 27, at that moment we're the same. We're just looking at it, trying to understand it.
So when you say leveler, you mean like it allows you to like meet and talk to people that you wouldn't typically be able to,
Of course.
on a normal day.
Of course.
So what kind of explain that to people? Like, what do you mean?
It's just the access. Like you go, like I was saying. So you walk into a garage today. It could literally be the MD of a bank somewhere or the whatever. It doesn't matter who the person is, but it just, at that moment you're both admiring the piece and you just strike a conversation. And it's happened before, and you don't even realize that the person is X, Y, and Z. It's just the person is just an art lover like you. So art's
You're
just
telling them what you're seeing. They're telling you what they're seeing. You get that going back and forth. It's actually art actually pushes for conversation. And you're right. I think we made, aside the allure that being a collector brings or whatever, I understand what you mean by shying away from that term. It also brings you into rooms that you can have conversation with people that can
ordinarily you wouldn't have
access to normally. But then what we're trying to do with this podcast is make art more accessible to everyone. So we're trying to have the conversations at a very
basic and honest
and an easy level where
no academic,
nothing too complicated. Just show you that and I think it's more about also following your passion, right? Because if you think about it, art has become like a passion for us. So aside the monetary gain, I feel like we met people that I can even call friends,
family.
So it has brought that side to it as well. So I feel art has really changed our life. Do you agree?
Definitely, it's changed our lives. Like I said, they're just things we've been exposed to, opportunities we've gotten, people we've met that I don't think would have had a chance to experience if not for art. So I'm grateful to art for that.
I agree. Ohi, why did we start this podcast?
We were bored. We didn't have anything to do, so we just said it to record.
Yeah, that's why we started the podcast. Be serious, guy.
I think for me, it's just like I said, making it accessible to everyone. I think if we can do it, I think anybody can get into art. It's just to make art accessible to anybody, literally. Because I talk to my peers. I even talk to people that are older than me, and I find that a lot of them are scared of art because they think you need to have a lot of money to do it. And I always say, if I could do it when I was 23, and I can do it now, you can do it. So I just want everyone who cares to experience art the way and experience the joy as part of my life. Yeah. That's what I did. Why I think I did this.
I think for sure it's definitely a storytelling kind of thing. Because if you think about it, when we started the art page, what we wanted to do was just document our personal collecting journey. And we now see that okay, people actually are interested in this thing. They might not necessarily know the art or love the art, but they just understand that there's actually something here.
Yeah.
So we're okay, if we're telling our own art story, there's so many other people that want to tell their art stories, whether it be collectors like us, dealers, gallerists, just anybody who wants any stakeholder in the space, right? So we're okay, yeah, let's talk to other people and get their own perspectives. That will teach us. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing for us is
to
learn and to also capture the Nigerian story. So I feel like the reason why we started this podcast was to ensure that we're telling our story, other people's story, and ultimately the Nigerian story
through
the lens of art. And that brings us to our final segment of the day. This is something that's going to be recurrent on all episodes called Piece of the Day.
Yeah.
We'll talk about a piece. So we'll tell a story. We'll either talk about the piece or we'll tell a story on how we got the piece. So today, on Piece of the Day, we'll be talking about a piece that we got in, what year was that? 2022. Yes, 2022. It was by a
2022, for sure.
Nigerian artist who lives in the UK. People call him Nigerian British artist. I think that's quite rare. Nigerian artist who lives in the UK, Sloan.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're choosing this story is because the story has so many parts to it and the piece is actually really cool.
And it also proves that you don't need money to collect art.
So are you going to tell them, you actually...
Well, you do, but not the way you think. Yeah.
So, okay, let's get into it. First of all, who is Sloan? And then... Sloan, Nigerian artist.
He's an artist. I mean, he's a Nigerian artist. For me, he's someone I've known my whole life. So I I see him as an artist and I respect his art. I'm his biggest fan. But
he's also my friend.
Yeah.
Like a family. I call him my family.
yeah, my family.
But this story is so interesting because it has so many parts to it. What had happened was, how did this thing start?
So I think he had come back briefly and he came to us and he said, oh, I need to paint.
Oh no, he reached out. He was like that. He's in Lagos and he needs to paint. That can we help? And we're like, man, what are we going to do? At that time, we had never even done anything like that.
Yeah.
But we just said, yes, we can help. So I think at that time,
we ordered like the canvas, the paint, everything.
Didn't you go to the market to pick all those things?
Yeah, no. Like I drove down to Bagada.
You drove down?
I drove down. Myself and uncle. We drove down, Sha. Got to the place. I remember I was so like excited for him to paint that.
You got the biggest canvas.
They were closed. We cut the canvas ourselves. Like,
guy, the thief, man. The guy caught the biggest.
It's not stealing. It's just taking advantage of the opportunity. I was like,
thank you for that. Thank you for that.
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I got the canvas, came back home. Then we messaged him, yeah, bro, come and paint crickets.
We're chasing this guy. So what had happened was, we now said, getting him to paint is going to be a task. We are going to have to try and figure this out. So we actually there were three different scenarios where we actually going to go and try and, for a lack of better words, kidnap him to come and paint in the house. So the first one was, he was at some skating ramp thing, right?
I was in the office,
I escaped from office. I escaped from office and that time I think it was NYC. So I went to go and meet him there. He saw me, we greeted each other, we exchanged, we hugged, everything. He was like, bro, I'm coming to your house to come and paint later. I was like, no, everything is set up. He now gave me one of his guys' numbers, like, you speak to this guy, just send him the address and time. So I did that. I texted the guy. The guy was being a bit weird. The guy now goes like, yo, for Sloan to come and paint in your house, you have to send us $10,000 with Bitcoin. I was like,
I'm doing that shit, bro.
I'm not doing that. Like, that's not going to happen. I said, bro, I just said this is the address. Whenever you guys are ready, pull up. I told him, bro, they're asking for $10,000 Bitcoin, $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. We're sweating. We didn't know what to do. Okay.
We already bought the canvas.
Everything was ready.
Man.
So I now remember, I think when he finished work, we now went to a cool hotel.
He told us he was in a cool hotel.
They said he was in a cool hotel. We now went to a cool hotel to go and meet him.
We sat in the car.
We sat in the car for like 2-3 hours. Where we
just sat in the car
there with the canvas. We were even like, we had carried the canvas. If you even
was
in the car park, you know what?
We'll run it there.
We'll run it there live in the car park. Nothing happened. So I think a night after, he was at one of our friends' home. So I went to go and meet him there. So we were all conversing. He was with all his guys. I was just sitting behind him. I was letting him do his thing. I was like, the way he was talking, I knew we were not going to paint that night. But I just said, let me spend time with him so he doesn't feel like I just want to painting from him. So we spent time. I was just listening to him, just getting into their own world. Then the next morning, what I told myself was, I'm going to wake up with this guy and
resume.
Like, wake up with him and take him to my house. So that morning when I woke up, I went straight to the friend's house. I said, where is Bobo? Where is Bobo? So where's Sloan? He told us where Sloan was. I entered the room. He was still sleeping. I sat down there with him. He was in the bed. I was just sitting there. I was just watching him.
I was in the office. You were texting.
I was sending you pictures.
Live updates. I was like, guy, don't lose him. Don't lose him.
So I said, Bobo, are you okay? We're just talking. When he got himself back, he got up, he packed his bags. We're about to go. His mom now shows up.
I said, which kind of
I love my auntie, but I was like, what
are you doing here?
Like, get out of here. Like, don't even bother. But I was like, let me just be calm. So I told her, so he had 2 bags. I put one bag in his car. I put one bag in my car. I told my driver, let's be going. They were following us. So we're going. We're just going. On the highway, I told my driver, turn around. We're going to my house. That's how we got Bobo to the crib.
Yeah.
Bobo came. We greeted his mom. We told her to leave, that we'll bring him home. Painted. Yeah. That's how we got the BG series. That was the first work we ever did with him. That was the story of how we got the pieces. So I won't say we didn't spend money in terms of like, I can't spend the kind of money to buy his work. Yes. But at least we spent money and we spent time, we spent effort, we actually chased it. So it also shows that there are also there are other ways you can collect aside just
spending huge amount of money.
What do you think?
I agree. And that is why we did this.
Now, this brings us to the close of the podcast. This is the first episode. There'll be several episodes. We'll be talking to different guests. Please like, share, subscribe.
Thank you.
I'm Ohai.
I'm Ohi.
Art People.
Peace.